Welcome to The Bottom Line Up Front, the podcast that cuts through the noise to deliver distilled insights from today's most important technical webinars, presentations, and demonstrations. Designed for federal and military IT leaders, each episode breaks down complex technologies into mission-ready takeaways so you get the key points fast. Whether it's cybersecurity, cloud architecture, or emerging defense technologies, we highlight what matters most and how trusted integrators like ATP Gov can help implement and operationalize these solutions across your agency or command. No fluff, no filler, just the bottom line up front. Remote work, distributed missions, mobile operators, and the growing reliance on contractors have fundamentally changed what secure access looks like across federal landscapes. Traditional VPNs, long considered the safe default, simply weren't built for today's operational tempo. On today's episode, we break down SonicWall's recent webinar on the evolution of secure access and their cloud secure edge, and we'll look into what it is, what it solves, and why zero trust access matters now more than ever, and how agencies can adopt and operationalize these capabilities.
We've got this shift to remote work, lots of people hiring third-party contractors, businesses needing to meet the needs of their employees and trying to be accessible in their hiring, right? Not everyone lives in like Silicon Valley anymore for tech companies, as an example. When you think about that, what's shifted and where are we at right now?
Working in this field for about 4 years, I lived in a van and traveled the country because I had the capability to work remote and not be bound to a specific office. And this was before Starlink. It was before a lot of the other things that really make it super, super easy to get your work done anywhere around the country, let alone around the world. The difficulties thereof is you no longer have one central body, one central location to protect, secure, and promote healthy and hygienic access rules, secure internet browsing, etc.
During the webinar, SonicWall's team opens with a reality federal agencies know all too well. The workforce is dispersed. Contractors, third-party partners, and remote employees are now the norm. Devices are more varied than ever. They can be government furnished, personally owned, or even unmanaged. And the attack surface is growing faster than many teams can respond to. SonicWall compares this shift to the castle and moat problem, where VPNs were designed when all of your resources lived behind the wall and you only needed one guarded bridge. But modern federal environments aren't castles anymore. They're distributed, cloud-hosted, hybrid, mobile, and interconnected with their partners. And threat actors are more sophisticated than ever. Thus, the stakes, whether for civilian missions, DoD ops, or national security, are higher than ever.
Just candidly, like the traditional VPN experience doesn't meet the sniff test for a lot of users.
For sure. And you're spot on by the base floor is a VPN. It's a necessary evil in order to get access to the resources and the data in order to get the job done. It's not the preferred approach, right? I think the preferred approach is a better, faster, stronger internet capability. And you can see companies tried to define that. Look at O365 by bringing tools into the cloud. Look at Salesforce bringing tools into the cloud. So you're not piggybacking all the way back to a data center to be accessed. The reality is that's only part of the story.
During the presentation, the SonicWall team refers to VPNs as a necessary evil. And they're not wrong. VPN pain points haven't changed in 20 years. We have slow performance, all or nothing access, no continuous verification, no context awareness, long-lived sessions that can be hijacked, no posture awareness, poor user experience, limited visibility, and they're hard to manage across thousands of users.
Right? That castle and moat ideology, that's your floor. If you want to open yourself up to risk, that's the tried and true method to do it from the last 30 years is you do this and you hope nothing bad will happen. But we all know that that's not the case anymore. People are more sophisticated and we needed to go beyond the wall.
And for federal agencies, VPNs also fail to support modern zero trust initiatives. In Executive Order 14028 and OMB M-2209, the requirements state that there must be continuous validation of user and device, strong identity integration, least privilege access, and real-time risk signals. So that brings us to SonicWall's solution.
This concept of the wall comes from, castle and moat type of terminology, where the castle is your data center, your resources, right? You build this bridge over a moat, and that is your representation of a VPN. So you can bring people in, but keep everybody else out. And typically you have guards in front of the door to evaluate who those people are. But once you're through that door, once you're past those guards, you're now into every resource and every piece of data that this castle has to offer. That's simple, but it's really ineffective in stopping people that really want to do havoc. So where CSE was born, and beyond this concept of the wall, we wanted to flip that analogy on our head. And we actually wanted to say that this is an extended model of a hotel. Think about from a hotel perspective, you no longer come in and get a key, and that can also open up the front of the hotel and where the pool is and where the gym is. And instead you get a key card. And that key card designates exactly where you are allowed to go and at what times you are allowed to go. You can only access the pool during daylight hours. You can only access the kitchen area during food time hours. You can only access your room. I can't go access JT's room when I want with my key card, where maybe the key at the hotel might have allowed me access because they only have a limited number of keys that represent your VPN. This keycard model moves the authentication and authorization to every point that a end user attempts to access some resource or data. We evaluate every time that person wants to get into the pool, every time the person wants to get into the kitchen area. We extend that out to say, okay, this is not just one hotel, but you can bring that key card to any hotel. And that's the work from anywhere, any device, etc., that CSE promotes, with this concept that the wall is no longer good enough.
SonicWall Cloud Secure Edge is designed to take advantage beyond the VPN and into a zero trust model built around identity, device posture, and continuous authorization. Instead of authenticating once at login, Cloud Secure Edge checks trust every time a user tries to access a resource. If an EDR alert fires, or if a device's posture changes, and let's say a user's status is revoked, access is removed instantly.
Think about a bouncer checking an ID. First, they check the actual person, the picture. Oh, that is JT. But then they also have to check if he's 21 or older, right, in the United States. That's the authorization piece. That's what CSE is. It's bread and butter. And we do that by device trust verification.
What SonicWall's Cloud Secure Edge does is it evaluates OS patch level, EDR signals from vendors like CrowdStrike, Defender, SentinelOne, Capture Client, etc. It looks at registry keys and plist, firewall status, system integrity, device type, and compliance requirements. Each device receives a trust level, low, medium, or high, which determines what a user can access. This is crucial for government organizations with BYOD policies, remote field workers, contractor access, third-party vendors, and a mix of domain and non-domain devices.
And what you can do is you can segment those users, whether it be by device or user group or specific email addresses, or even down to the serial number, to say these specific devices can only allow access into certain resources because they are in particular a high risk group because they are contractors, they're not owned by the company.
So instead of one VPN tunnel unlocking everything, Cloud Secure Edge issues a key card per resource. And I'll give you some examples. Let's say you want to give user A access to database 1 only, and user B access to RDP but not internal file shares. You want to give contractors access to only what's necessary, or time-based or location-based restrictions, and that includes dynamic policy enforcement. With all those use cases in mind, we now have a classic zero trust network access scenario. During the presentation, the SonicWall team emphasized ease of deployment. There's really 4 steps to get online. It works with existing SonicWall firewalls. The connector installs within minutes. It has strong native integrations with Azure AD, Entra ID, Okta, and more. And the same lightweight agent is used for both ZTNA and DNS web protection in the SonicWall ecosystem. For resource-constrained federal IT teams, this ease of configuration is no small thing.
And this all comes out of a need. When we released our SPA products, people said, great, we feel comfortable and secure, risk-free from our private access to our databases, RDP hosts, etc. But we still have this gaping hole that is my end users like to use the internet on their work computers, similar how they might spend their free time on their own personal computers. And that leads us to a lot of risk because we don't have control in the same sense that we do with maybe a SonicWall firewall protecting types of traffic inbound to certain things that are protected, right? We just don't have that level of control. How can you, CSE, provide that? And the answer was URL and DNS-based filtering.
One of the biggest challenges for federal agencies today is user behavior on the open internet, especially as more work laptops are used on home networks. Therefore, SonicWall's secure internet access includes component layers like DNS filtering, URL categorization, threat intelligence, phishing protection, botnet and crypto mining detection, as well as category-based policy enforcement. So this means agencies gain visibility into user internet activity, risk scoring for domains, the ability to block malicious or non-compliant sites, and a unified agent for ZTNA and web protection. So this solves a real-world federal problem. Agency laptops used on untrusted home networks that pose a massive attack vector. SonicWall Secure Internet Access closes that gap.
We analyze all of the world's traffic. We bucket it into different categories, whether it be a category such as gambling, adult content, business use, IT, education, firearm, you name it. We have 40 something categories at this point. And we also do risk-based URL matching, where we look at the URL and we determine the health of that URL. And if we deem it risky, we do not allow access to it.
The webinar we attended also highlighted an example that resonates with federal audiences, that being, how do you securely grant access to non-managed, non-domain, contractor-owned devices? That's accomplished because Cloud Secure Edge can support full agent deployment, browser-only secure access via Chrome extensions, clientless access based on IP ranges, and unregistered device access with identity-based restrictions. So what this means is it's ideal for short-term contractors, foreign vendors or service providers, partner organizations, remote analysts, temporary project teams, and mission-based access windows. This is one of the biggest unspoken federal challenges, and Cloud Secure Edge directly addresses it. The presenters also gave a blunt but important point. Most agencies today are band-aiding aging remote access infrastructure to include VPNs. They're delaying their zero trust access, and that increases the attack surface, the administrative burden, the operational risk, compliance pressures, and dependency on legacy VPN cages. Modern missions really do require modern secure access strategies. So what's the bottom line up front? VPNs are no longer enough. They cannot satisfy zero trust mandates, support modern distributed workforces, or reduce remote access risk. SonicWall's Cloud Secure Edge provides true zero trust access. Every access attempt is evaluated based on identity, device posture, risk signals, and policy. Their unified agent simplifies operations. One client delivers both secure access and web protection, reducing operational complexity for federal IT teams. And now contractor and BYOD access becomes manageable. Cloud Secure Edge supports full agent, browser-based, and clientless access, all with strict policy enforcement. Meanwhile, DNS and web filtering close gaps that firewalls can't. And this is critical as agency devices increasingly operate off-prem. And finally, deployment is fast, lightweight, and designed for small IT teams. This is ideal for agencies with limited cyber manpower, which is also a common federal challenge. So if your agency is reassessing VPN dependencies or gearing up for zero trust modernization, consider an evaluation, pilot, or deployment of SonicWall Cloud Secure Edge in a secure, compliant, and mission-aligned way. Be sure to reach out to ATP Gov today at www.atpgov.com or email info@atpgov.com or check us out on social media on LinkedIn. Thanks for listening, and be sure to subscribe to The Bottom Line up front wherever you get your podcasts, and stay tuned for more distilled insights from the front lines of tech and national security. So until next time, stay secure, stay mission ready.